Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Camporana de Comercio Exterior. Welcome to our English lectures. Today we're going to continue with the topics related to business. Remember that every now and then we're going to pause to talk about general English topics, but normally we're going to talk about business English items or topics, okay? So the topics of this first Tuesday of November is going to be distribution and promotion, okay? So we're going to talk about topics that are related to distribution and promotion, as well as some terms and terminology. And at the end, we're going to review some collocations related to this topic. I want to welcome everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We just had a slight tremor. Hopefully everyone is fine. And also please take care and take all the necessary precautions in case you won't need to go out. Remember that even though things are slowing down, it still has not disappeared. So just take care and be careful. As always, my name is Carlos Martinez Flores. I'm an English instructor and speaking coach. I'm a former team leader from Pacifico University, and currently I am an EFL teacher at Mater Purísima School in Miraflores. Okay, so today we're going to, the topic is distribution and promotion, and let's begin. Remember that if you have any questions, I always follow the topic here in Zoom, where I can answer your questions. And also I follow the topic in Facebook, where I can answer any questions that you might have immediately or as soon as I get them, because remember that sometimes I get the topics, they're not synchronic. I get them a little bit late. So I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's start. Okay, as you can see, I have a soccer field here because we're going to talk about distribution and promotion. Just like in a game, it's important on how to distribute the ball, on how to what strategies are going to be the best to reach the goal and to score, and that is important in businesses. You know how to, or what are the strategies that are needed to be followed to be able to reach our customers, which are the goals, and of course make them continue with the business, right? So the first thing that we're going to mention is the physical distribution. Remember that I'm going to talk about each of these topics individually as we go along, but the first one is going to be the physical distribution. Then the distribution channels, the way that we're going to distribute. Then the retailing, which is basically the sales. The next topic will be the promotional mix, which will be all the promotions, sales and discounts and things that we can do to promote our product. And then just to close, the sales promotions itself. Okay, so basically these are the 5 topics that we're going to talk about today. So let's begin. First, let's talk about the distribution channels. Here we have our first topic, which is the direct distribution. As its name says, it's direct. That means that we are going to go straight from the producer or the provider to the consumer, to the person who buys our products. It's directly from me, which I make this product and I sell it to my customers or my users. Okay, that is the first channel, the direct distribution. Okay, remember, direct distribution is when the person or the company who produces an artifact or a product, sells it and takes it directly to our final consumer. The next one would be the use of an intermediary. Okay, now here is the most common one, right? Where we have a middleman, okay, a middle company who is going to distribute or wholesale or retail. You know, the difference between wholesale and retail is that both are about sales, But in wholesale, we talk about big quantities and big amounts, and in retails, we talk about small quantities, right? But they are going to be our intermediary. They're going to be the ones that are going to sell the products for us. Okay, good. So these are the two channels of distribution. Remember, direct distribution. I am the producer and I sell it directly to my final consumer or client. And I use the second one is the use of an intermediary, which is will be the middleman or the person who will sell it for me. Okay, that is um, that is it could be a wholesaler or it can be. Give me a second here. I'm trying to open the page so I can answer your questions through Facebook. Right? Okay, there we go. A wholesaler which will sell in block and a retailer which would sell individual. Okay, retailers we have many. Again, they sell the products by unit, whereas wholesalers they sell the products in quantities. Very good. Remember that if you have any questions related to the topic that we're talking about right now, ask me through again Zoom or the chat in Facebook. The next topic, as I mentioned before, was the physical distribution. Okay, when we talk about physical distribution, we talk about more than two items as before. The first one is the warehousing. When we talk about warehousing, is the place where we're going to have the biggest quantities. It will be, it's not always going to be like a store. It's going to be a big area, a big building where we're going to store our products. Okay, where we're going to, for example, imagine I am a producer and I need to sell my products to, let's say, another city or another country. Okay, I'm not going to sell it directly, but I need to send a big quantity to my warehouse, and from there it's going to be to distribute it to the other smaller distributors. So it's important in your warehouse to have a control of inventory and also about handling the material. You need to be careful. You need to take all the necessary precautions about temperature, about dust, about heat, humidity, and all these things. Okay, because the warehouse is where all our products are going to be stored until we make the final sale. The next topic related to physical distribution is customer service. Okay, when we talk about customer service, we talk about the fulfillment of the order. Okay, for example, we in during this pandemic, at the beginning of the pandemic, and when sales had restarted, many companies had this problem, right, where you bought a product online and they told you will receive it in 2 or 3 days, and then 2 3 weeks came by and you didn't receive anything. So many companies got into trouble because they didn't fulfill the order. Okay, so it is important. The warranty, of course, is also important because we have to sell products with warranty. If something goes wrong and it's not the fault of the customer, then we should be in the capability of replacing the product and giving a new one. And of course, repair issues. If we should also offer a repair service um, as means of a warranty, right? Every product needs to be able to be repaired, or in the case there is no repair, exchanged, right? That's where we have warranties. Next, regarding physical distribution, the next topic is the logistics. Okay, the logistics is the work or planning and organizing of the movement of materials, goods, and people. Okay, how are we going to get my product from my factory to either the retail center or my final customer? It doesn't happen by magic. I need to have the personnel to be capable of transporting my goods, to put it in my warehouse, to store it. I also need the transportation. I'm going to send it by ocean, by air, by land. Okay, do I need to hire a container? Am I going to the containers are going to be my own container? Am I going to share the container? Okay, and everything that these are all the things that are related to the logistics. Okay, it's the planning and organization of the movement of my materials or the goods or the people, okay, involved in the process. Okay, And the next topic is the final topic is the transportation. Okay, this was also part of the logistics, but it also needs to be spoken individually because shipping well, sometimes people when they talk about shipping they think only about boats, but shipping is also related to roads and air. So we need to figure out how we're going to distribute our products. Okay, are we going to what is the best way, the quickest way, and of course the most profitable way, because maybe sending it by air is the quickest way, but it's relatively expensive, so maybe there's not an option. Maybe the cheapest way is sending it by, let's say, ship or the ocean. I'm not saying it is, but let's put this as an example. The cheapest way, maybe it's by sending it by ocean, but it takes so long that by the time it reaches its destination, all of my products are damaged. So even though I saved money in the shipping, I created a loss due to the fact that my product is damaged. Okay, so you need to take into account not only if it's profitable, but also which one is the most beneficial. Okay, in all aspects, not only in how much you're going to save, but which one is going to give you a better profit. Okay, so these are the four topics related to physical distribution. The warehousing, where we're going to store our products for a while, customer service, how we're going to make our product reach its destination, the logistics, everything that is involved in the planning and the organization of making our product reach you, and the transportation, how we're going to make our product reach its destination. Okay, very good. So this was the second topic that we mentioned, right? Again, we're going to go in depth in some of the topics as we go along this lecture. Now, retailing. When we talk about retailing, we need to talk about, we're going to mention two types. The first one that we're going to talk about is the non-store retailing. That means that no store, no physical environment is involved. And this is, here we have some types. The first one is direct response retailing. Direct response retailing. It is home delivery of goods ordered through catalogs. So I just buy some goods are I have only the book. I don't see it. I don't touch it. I only have a catalog where I see the product. It gives me a small detail of the product and the price, and I just order it through mail, through telephone, or whatever. This is the direct response retailing, ordering and delivering goods through a catalog. Then the next one is the internet retailing, where this is the most common right now. This is online selling through virtual stores. So we just go to the store, the virtual store of a retailer, and we again we see the product, we see the price, we see a certain description of the product, and we buy it. The next one is the automatic merchandising. This is through vending machines, where you can buy Coca-Cola, you can buy snacks, you can buy things in vending machines. The vending machines, you can buy coffees, you can buy I don't know, many products, that you see them in the malls or the stores, right? These are vending machines. This is called automatic merchandising. And finally, we have direct selling. This is when a salesperson goes door to door selling the product. So these are the four types of non-store retailing that exist. Direct response retailing, when we buy through a catalog. Internet retailing, when we buy our products through the internet. Automatic merchandising, when we buy things through vending machines where nobody is involved, only the machine. And finally, direct selling is when a salesperson goes door to door selling a product. Okay. These fall in the category of non-store retailing. Now we have the next category in retailing, which is called the store retailing, which is more obviously in the first four topics that we mentioned, there was no physical environment to sell the product. Everything was through a book, online, with a machine, or the person going door to door to sell. But now we have store retailing. In this case, we have different types of store retailers. The first one are the specialty store. These are stores that sell only a specific item. For example, like I mentioned here, bookstores. You're only going to find books there. Flower shops, you're only going to find things related to flowers or through gifts, etc. We have convenience stores. And convenience store is where you find the basic goods. Okay, a convenience store is, for example, you can buy food, you can buy sugar, you can buy toilet paper, you can buy soda, basic goods. Normally they're open late, but it's a higher price, just due to the fact that they are open late and you can find everything there. You're going to find objects or items at a higher price than you would at a supermarket, for example. Then we have discount stores where you can get things at very low prices. A big example is Walmart. It's the biggest discount store in the world. You can find many things at very low prices. Then we have supermarkets and hypermarkets. Here in Peru, we have many examples, right? And what is the difference? Basically, the size and what they sell. For example, in supermarkets, they're going to be medium sized, and you're basically going to find just your groceries, maybe one or two vegetables, meat, and things for the household. Whereas in hypermarkets, you're going to find all these things, but you're also going to find maybe electronic appliances, home appliances, TVs, maybe clothing, maybe toys. Okay, these are hypermarkets because it has to do with the size, yes, but also has to do with the content of what you're selling, right? Um, and finally, department stores. The department stores are aimed at a more upmarket customer. These are your Ripley, your Falabella, or Ashley. Okay, upmarket customer is a person who has a certain economical capacity to buy things instead of buying clothing at your local stores or your local markets. They go to department stores where they can buy better quality material or items at, of course, a higher price, right? So these are some examples of store retailing. Okay, specialty stores specifically for a certain customer, and they sell a specific product. Convenience stores, they sell the basic goods, things for everyday needs. Normally they are open very late and they have high prices. For example, convenience stores that we have in Lima now are Tambo, are the Listos, are Oxos, and all these places where you can buy things, basically everything at a higher price, but they're normally open very late. Discount stores, very low prices. For example, Walmart, supermarkets, hypermarkets. We have many: Plaza Vea, Totus, Metro, Wong, Vivanda. And the difference is just basically on the size and what they sell. Supermarkets, basically groceries. Hypermarkets, groceries plus clothing, electrical appliances, etc. And department stores for people with a certain capacity, economical capacity, and when they want to feel the sense of exclusiveness, right? We have Replace, Farabella, Oishla, etc. Okay, so these are the two topics related to retailing that I mentioned before. Non-store, there is no store. Store, there's a physical place where you do your shopping. Very good. Let's go to the next. The promotional mix, okay? In the promotional mix, we have, as its name says, it's a mixture of many things. First, we have the sales promotion. We have personal selling. We have advertising, public relations. We have events. We have sponsorships, endorsements, trade promotions with retailers. And then we have other products like product placement, viral marketing, okay? So this is the promotional mix. All these things are related to promoting your product. Okay, we're going to mention them in depth in a little while, but they all have to do with the fact of getting your product in a quick way, in a more profitable way, in a bigger quantity to your customer. Okay, these are many things that you can do to increase your sales. Okay, advertisements and sponsorship, like for example, um, um, now after the Peruvian soccer team, football team reached the World Cup, many companies became sponsors, right? The official airline of the Peruvian football team, the official drink, the official everything, okay, that they were sponsoring, okay, or endorsements when you have a famous person say, hey, I am a famous football player and I drink this beverage. Okay, so I am endorsing. I'm saying that because of my reputation, I think that this is a good product, so I am endorsing. Okay, and so on. And we're going to talk about some of these other topics in depth in a little while. Okay, this is what is called the promotional mix. All these things are created to increase our sales and make our product more profitable and more successful. Now, sales promotion. Okay, the sales promotion depends on who we want to reach. Now, there are three types of sales promotion. The first type of sales promotion is the internal sales promotion. We want to generate enthusiasm amongst our salespeople and other customer contact staff. For example, this is the biggest example is the discount that employees have at a certain store. For example, if you work at Falabella, then you have discounts in Totus and in Falabella. If you work, for example, in an airline, let's say LATAM, then you can fly free or with certain discounts whenever you use their planes and etc. Okay, so this is internal sales promotion. You want to generate fidelity, you want to generate loyalty, you want to increase the enthusiasm amongst your employees and the people who work for you. So this is an internal sales promotion. Okay, the next one is the business to business products. This is basically promotions related between companies, between businesses. Okay, here we have trade shows, for example, we have exhibitions, we have deals. For example, if you belong to a certain company, you have discounts in a certain place or in a certain restaurant or a certain service. For example, you have if my products are for companies, then I'm going to have a special brochure or catalog for you. Okay, so these are basically products that are between these are sales or promotions between companies. Okay, the first one was for the internal employees. These are B2B products, are business to business products. Okay, these are the promotions that are amongst companies. And finally, the consumer products. Now here we have what all of us can recognize, right? We have special offers. They'll give you discounts, 10%, 50%, 30% discount. We have a bonus, right? Buy one get one free, or two for pay three, pay for two get three, or these discounts that we have in the supermarkets, right? Where you buy a certain number of products and you only pay for less. We have the coupons that appear in brochures or flyers, where you buy for example, whenever you go to a mall, they always give you coupons for fast food restaurants, right? With a discount in the price. Samples, if you go to Wong, Metro, Totus, the different companies give you samples of the product, a small, like to taste the hot dogs, to taste the cheese, taste the milk, taste the wine. These are free samples. The in-store displays also, like they give you they show you what something is. They give you an example of what the product is about. Then we have catalogs and brochures, and then we have the promotional items with an important logo, like what we call merchandising, right? In Peru, we call them merch. Like, for example, they give you little keychains with the brand of the company, or they give you a USB with the name of the product, or they give you a cap, or they give you a T-shirt, in special events, and this is called this is sales promotion. I'm selling you my product using other things, right? So these are the three different ways that we have sales promotion. The first one is internal, where the company gives its employees certain benefits. We have business to business products, is when we have um, um, this is business done between big companies. The prices are normally different than they would be to the local person or to the normal person, because I am making an agreement between two companies to work with a certain product, with a certain service. And of course, this gives you certain benefits, especially economical benefits. Then we have consumer products. Okay, these are all the different ways that sales promotions can be made through discounts, to bonuses, coupons, samples, catalogs, and promotional items, which in Peru we call merch. Right? Remember, in Peru we call them merch. Very good. So these are three ways which we can talk about what is called sales promotion. Okay. Very good. The next topic is the distribution. Okay. What is distribution? Distribution is the final link in the company's supply chain. Remember, we talked about supply chain a couple of weeks back. The supply chain is from raw material to final product. The final link in the company's supply chain and involves getting the right product to the customer at the right time. Okay. Again, it is very important because it is still part of our service. If I tell you that you're going to receive your product between 3 or 5 days, then you should receive your product between 3 or 5 days. If I don't do that, I am not fulfilling my word. I am not giving you a good service, right? The distribution also includes the physical handling of the goods, warehousing, choice of the distribution channel, wholesaler, retailer, the choice of the retail outlet, or then the order fulfillment to do what is promised, like I mentioned before, right? So all of this has to do with the distribution. First of all, how I'm going to get my product to you. Second, who is going to get my product to you? Okay. And third, that I do it in the correct time. Okay. So these things are involved. First, how I'm getting my product to you. Second, who is going to get my product to you? And finally, that my product is delivered on time and when it is promised. Okay, these two things need to be taken into account when we talk about distribution. The main trend has been to move away from small family-owned stores, which in American English they are called mom and pop stores, to large shopping centers, which in American English they're called malls. In the US, large out-of-town malls have appeared that surround a large central car park, again in American English a parking lot. Okay, and trends tend to offer other entertainment to attract customers and develop private labels, in-house brands as a cheaper competition to name brands. This is totally true and it's starting to appear. For example, if you go to Plaza Vea, their in-house brand is Bells. And all these supermarkets have their specific and a specific brand that belongs to them, which is a cheaper version of, and also a good version, not a bad version of another product. Okay. And also whenever you go to a supermarket or a mall, now you see that it has everything for everyone. You have food, you have entertainment, you have cinemas, you have gyms, you have things for children. So they're trying to make it as to, okay, I'm going to Metro to buy something, but I'm also going to have food in the restaurant. I'm also going to, maybe after the movie, the restaurant, I'm going to see a movie. All of this was before COVID. Maybe and after all that, or before I do all this, I will go to the gym first, right? And then after the gym, I'll go to have a nutritional beverage at this restaurant that it's in the mall. So basically, you have everything at your hand, and you don't even, I mean, you don't need to travel to many places because everything is there. This is done to attract customers, right? And as you can see, even though this is here, it says in the US, this happens all over the world, right? Normally there is a big parking lot surrounded by stores, underground parking lots or above ground parking lots, but they are all surrounded by stores, department stores, restaurants, and entertainment businesses. Okay, and all this has to do on how it's been, things are distributed. Next topic. The next topic is the promotional mix that I mentioned before. Okay, here the first thing that we mentioned is the personal selling or the sales. This is the direct face-to-face communication between a salesperson and a customer. The sales process has various stages. It has 8 stages to be honest. Okay, this is sales. Okay, so for all the people who are involved in sales, you're going to feel identified or you're going to understand what I'm trying to say. The first step is the prospecting. Okay, identifying a potential customer who has the ability and the authority to buy. Okay, I need to recognize, okay, for example, I'm not going to sell cars to a child because he has no decision. Or I'm not going to sell maybe a product to the wife if the husband is the person who brings in the money, or to the husband if the wife is the person who brings in the money. I need to talk to the person who has the capacity to make the decision and who has the capacity of paying. So I need to identify who do I need to talk to: the boy, the girl, the man, the woman, the husband, the wife. Who, I don't know, but I need to study. I need to research. I need to find who is my prospective customer. The approach is contacting the prospect and preparing for the sales interview. Okay, so now I recognize who I need to talk to, and now I try to set an interview, or trying to set a moment where I can talk to him or her. Next, the presentation. Okay, here I describe the features of the products. I highlight the advantages over the competing products and give examples of satisfied customers. So now I present myself, more than myself, I present my product, and I talk about all the advantages and the highlights, and I mention examples of how they have satisfied my other customers. And the demonstration, if possible, and even though I say here if possible, you should always show your customer the product and how you use it. The best way to sell is to show. If I'm only going to give you words, then sometimes most of the time customers are not going to be convinced. Okay, but if I can show you what a product does, that's why, for example, when people who sell cosmetics, they normally bring a sample, so you can smell the perfume, or you can see the colors, or taste the you can feel the how the texture of a powder, or an oil. Okay, because if I can feel it, it's better for me. It convinces me quicker about a certain product. The next step in the sale in sales is answering to objections. Okay, you're not everybody's going to say yes, yes, yes all the time. So customers should be given a chance to express their doubts, as they are unlikely to buy unless these are dealt with. At this stage, the salesperson stresses benefits rather than features. Okay, so I have to let my client ask questions and solve all their doubts. And like I say here, and that's the person who sells needs to focus more on the benefits of this product, more on what the product is. Okay, okay, for example, if I want to sell let's say a microwave, I know that a microwave heats the food, but if I want to solve all my customers doubts, I need to say why it would be beneficial for him to buy this microwave, why it would be better for him to buy this one and not the other one, because of course all microwaves do the same. Okay, so I should focus on benefits rather than features, and always allow my customer to clarify any doubts. The next and the sixth step is the closing. Here I am, the salesperson asks the person to buy. If the customer still has doubts, then the options include offering an alternative product, offering a special incentive, or restating the product benefits. So this is a trick. For example, I always have 2 or 3 products that I want to sell. If my original product maybe it's too expensive, or maybe it doesn't totally convince my client, immediately I bring in my second or alternative product, which is almost the same, but with a certain benefit that is beneficial, sorry for the redundancy, for my client. Okay, so he's going to, I mean, even though I am giving him the options, he's going to feel that he is making the decision. Okay, so this is the closing. I always have an alternative to whatever my client or my prospective customer says. Then the follow-up, it's very important. Okay, because once you make a sale, and you want to make this client loyal, you need to follow up, processing the order quickly and effectively, and reassuring the customer about their purchase decision during further conversations. Okay, you always follow up. Okay, did you receive your product? How is everything going? Are you satisfied? Blah blah blah. This will make your client loyal, and maybe for a next sale, you're pretty sure to be in the capacity of convincing him easier, because you already have um, a certain reputation with him, right? You see, and here is the last process, the long-term relationship, going to establish regular contact with the customer. Like I said before, if you follow all these 7 prior steps, I'm very sure that this is a person where you can go every now and then and sell any product, and he or she will totally agree and trust you because you have fulfilled all the prior 7 steps. Okay, so this is the only way to create a long-term relationship with somebody and make sure that he or she will be your client forever or for a long time at least. Okay, very good. So these are the 8 steps of making a sale. You go from recognizing who you're going to sell to, evaluating what he or she needs, and creating a process that's only it's only for him or her until the long-term relationship. We go from knowing only specific details about a certain person to where we have formed a relationship where, I mean, we will be making business for a long time. Okay, so these are the 8 steps of sales. Next, now the other things that I mentioned before was the advertising. Okay, the use of different media such as television, commercials, advertisements in newspapers and magazines, direct mail, outdoor like billboards, posters, and flyers given to people on this in the street or internet. Advertising is like all the commercials or propaganda that I have for my product, and these are the different ways of getting to it to my clients: newspapers, TVs, internet, flyers. Flyers are these papers they give you on the street, to let people know what my product is and what it does. Another way of selling is one public relations, managing publicity, information that makes people notice our company. The PR or public relations function is in a company. Um, it helps to establish a good relationship between you and your customer or the media or the society. Okay, it controls the information that they receive, and in case there was a problem, they are the people who come and face it. They are going to be people who give the explanations. They're going to be the people who give the reasons, or who are going to confront the client and make sure that everything is fine, that everything works perfectly. Again, these are the people who are going to hold press conferences. When the company meets with the media, with the news and with the press, and who also always gives the explanations. It gives information related to anything important about the company. Events, okay, this is another way of selling. We make special occasion related to a product. For example, there's shows, there are concerts, there are parades. Sometimes they'll go around the city or in the store, and it will connect your product with a memorable location or with a memorable situation, something that is not common, something that is not normal. You are trying to reach, increase your reach with people through these events. Like I said, concerts or parades or fashion shows. Or, for example, sometimes here there's a mall where I live, where they were trying to sell more of these consoles and games, and they a couple of times a year they make these competitions playing football on their consoles, and like teenagers and young adults come and they play, and that is a way of creating of selling without it looking like it's a sales. Uh, you are selling your product, your console, and your game to young adults and teenagers. Sponsorships, like I mentioned before, right? When a certain company sponsors sports teams, music groups, theater groups, operas, and ballets, and when you're, like I mentioned, is you connect your product with some with that you are giving money to a certain uh, um, type of entertainment. Like I said, sports. For example, if you see the football teams, they all have like the names of the companies or products on their shirts, and you are sponsoring. You give them money for um, for them to do what they do. If it's a sports center, then to play sports. If it's an opera, then for them to continue with their opera. If it's a musical group, then for them to travel around. So you are to sponsor is to give something to help this group of people or athlete do whatever they do. And of course, that gives you the ability or the capacity of collocating your brand in related to them, to the sports team or the musical group. That is sponsorship. Then we have endorsement. This is the opposite way. Okay, in a sponsorship, you, the company, give money to to a certain entity to for them to work properly. An endorsement is the opposite way. A famous person talks about your product. Okay, they mention your product. They say that it is good. It's like they use their reputation to give your company a good reputation. Okay, they if a famous person says that your product is good, then everybody who follows that famous person is going to, without question, believe him. This is what influencers, for example, nowadays do. If an influencer on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram says that this is a good product, then everybody who follows this person is going to believe him or her. And if they say it's a bad product, then it's going to work negatively. But also, that's an endorsement. That's a negative endorsement. Trade promotions. Okay, a trade promotion, for example, um, they give for example, it's an exchange. Okay, I'll give you this if you do this. Okay, so to retailers, for example, financial incentives to stock a new product or to give more space or visibility. Okay, so they give you they exchange an economical benefit in exchange for promoting their product, right? They collocate products at the entrance where everybody goes, or they collocate it in the most popular area of their supermarket, or they collocate they illuminate it better or more because there has been an economical exchange the with the producer. For example, um, the commercials that are during the Super Bowl, they cost millions of dollars just because, okay, I'll give you this space in exchange for a certain amount of money. Okay, that is trade promotion. And finally, we have other, which are called product placing in films, like when you go to see a movie, you see somebody drinking Coca-Cola, Pepsi, because that's product placing. Okay, um, um, or word of mouth when people start when the the advertising goes from one person to another. That's word of mouth, right? Normally, this happens in restaurants, for example. Okay, if I tell you that this restaurant is good, then you're going to tell that person that the restaurant is good, and so on, and it's going to go from mouth to mouth. And then we have viral marketing, and which is also called guerrilla marketing. Okay, these are unconventional techniques of advertising. The guerrilla marketing is when everything is valid. You make things viral because either they're too funny or maybe they're too aggressive, but it's something exceptional about this advertisement that makes it viral. Like I said, it can go from very very funny to like a little bit over the top, or too aggressive or something, but it makes it viral. Okay, so this is what it's called, guerrilla marketing. And then we have building customer relationships. Okay, this is the last topic. Today, a major part of developing long-term relationships with the customer is to say that they have, so they can continue working with you, okay, and are open to buy anything that is related to your product. This is cross-selling products. I start buying you, but then you offer me something else, so I start buying another product because you suggested it. Okay, the tools for developing customer relationships include building a brand identity that the customer will relate, like I said, through endorsements or sponsorships. If I am a follower of a certain team and this brand sponsors my team, then I consider this brand to be good. If I admire a certain rock star and this rock star says that this is the best product, then I believe him because I'm a fan. So I will follow this brand. Okay. Next, the frequency. Frequency programs. This is, for example, frequent miles, or when you go to um, um, these fidelity programs where you give you shop at a supermarket and you gain points, or like bonus when you buy, you get bonus points for every shop that you make. This is called the frequency program. Okay, the more times you go to this place, at the end is going to give you some kind of benefit, maybe free tickets or free products, or you can exchange them for something. These are frequency programs. Then we have forming community of buyers. For example, consumer chat rooms on the internet, or meeting with the owners of Nissan automobiles. Um, you form communities, okay? People who uh, fanatics of, let's say in this case, cars, or people who like collect certain kind of toys, or people who like certain kind of product. Okay, so you form communities, and you make them all to get together every now and then to form fidelity. Next, affinity marketing, attracting customers on the basis of the other interests, and this is what sometimes, for example, Facebook does, right? Um, they follow what you share to send you advertisement, right? If in your Facebook page you tend to publish things about traveling, then they're going to send you the advertisements of traveling companies. If you, for example, if you follow many things about food, they're going to send you advertisements about food related. Okay, so this is called an affinity market. It depends on your interests. Next, individualized advertising based on previous purchases. For example, it says Amazon's book suggestions. If you go to, let's say, Spotify, right? You listen to certain types of music. Spotify is going to create lists according to these previous songs that you heard or you listened to. The same happens with certain companies. If you, for example, Netflix or Prime, if you watch certain types of movies, they're going to say, because you watch this movie, I suggest this movie. So these are individualized advertisements. Okay, co-marketing, when you share with another company, and for example here, like when you go to McDonald's, they always, in these Happy Meals, they tend to be related to movies or to books or to anything. I mean, it's like, okay, I help you sell your brand. And using CRM, this is customer relationship management, through emails, through phone calls. Uh, you want to, this is what we mentioned before, right? You make a sale, but you don't want to lose contact with this customer. You send them emails, you send them brochures, you send them, for example, sometimes I get emails from my bank saying happy birthday, I hope you have a great day, and things like this. They try to make a bigger connection with the customer. These are called CRM softwares, customer relationship management. Okay, very good. So very quickly, this is, we're going to finish. Let's make collocations here. Let's see, collocations are words in English that always go together with no grammatical explanation. Okay, so for example, which word collocates with brand? Which word here collocates with brand? Do you know? Very quickly. Okay, so if you guessed brand identity, you were correct, right? You create, yeah, an identity, an image for your brand. Next, convenience. We mentioned before too, convenience. Convenience store, very good. Convenience stores, right? Convenience stores, like I mentioned before, like List, or like Tambo. Next, direct. You mentioned this before at the beginning. Direct mail, right? When you send people direct correspondence to about your product. Next, distribution. Distribution, very good. Distribution channel. How we're going to get my product to you. That is the distribution channel. In store. In store. display, let's see. Display, very good. In-store display is when I give you a special place for your product in exchange for an economical payment, right? Press, very good. Press release, it's like when I give information to the press, to the media about my product. Product placement, okay? Product placement is when I want to collocate my product in a certain category, in a certain market. I do all my investigation and my advertisement and all this strategy and logistics to be able to collocate my product in a certain place, a certain market, a certain area, a certain business. And finally, public relations is, when the company, to talk about the good things of the company, to if there was a bad thing, to help the company, to avoid problems, is to maintain the peace between your company or your product with the consumer, the customer, and the society. Very good. And finally, we have the different process of how to make a sales. We said we have this, the first one is action objections. Which one would it be? Identifying a potential customer, contacting the prospect and preparing them for the sales interview, describing the features of the product, giving the customer a chance to see the product in use, asking the prospect to buy, dealing with any doubts that the customer has, and processing the order quickly and maintaining long-term contact. Okay, so let's see number 6. Very good. Number 6, answering objections, dealing with any doubts that the customer has. Approach. Which one do you think is the approach? Very good. It's contacting the prospect and preparing for the sales interview. Closing. Which one is closing? If you guessed that closing was asking the prospect to buy, you were correct. Yes, you were correct. Number 5. Demonstration. Okay. Very good. It's to giving the customer a chance to see the product in use. Follow-up. What do you think is follow-up? Very good. It's the process on the order, processing the order quickly and maintaining a long-term contact. Then we have presentation. Yes, very good. Describe the features of the product. And finally, prospecting is to identify a potential customer. Very good. Very good. Yes, it was number 3. Very good. Okay, so with this, we finished the topic of distribution, and the next topic is going to be accounting and financial statements. This is a topic that we will talk about on Wednesday, accounting and financial statements. Okay, so if you're interested in the topic, I will see you on Wednesday. Again, remember that this is English for specific purposes, business English. So it's, every now and then we're going to talk about general English, where we will speak about grammar, pronunciation, and things like we talked about in the last 2 classes. Okay, so I thank you for your participation here in Zoom and in Facebook, and I hope the topic was of interest. Again, remember that CAMEX also offers a small evaluation for you to be able to answer any questions related to the topic. Okay, thank you for participating, and I will see you on Wednesday. Remember that my information, this is my email here at gmail.com. If you want to contact me through WhatsApp, and my LinkedIn account at CJMFlores27. Okay, again, thank you for participating in these lectures from the Cámara Peruana de Comercio Exterior, and I will see you in a couple of days. Have a great Monday, a great beginning of the week, and God bless. Bye-bye.